Alright, hello everyone. Before I get into the topic of this video, I'd like everyone to try doing just one thing, which is something scientists and historians do all the time. Let's try assuming things. So, first of all, let's try to assume that a lot of things that historians tell us is wrong. And then let's assume another thing, that they also fabricate and lie about stuff. And then let's assume the last thing, that pretty much everything they tell us is not true. So, now let's get into the actual topic. Some ideas and things I want to show you are based on a conspiracy, or as I like to call it, theory, that sounds absurd the first time you hear it. It certainly did for me. But the more you look into it and research and keep an open mind, the more you start realizing that it actually makes perfect sense, and that is the most plausible scenario. And that's a theory that there was some kind of catastrophic event that took place between 15th and 17th century. There are different versions, I'm not getting into it. The most popular is the version of mud floods, and there are lots and lots of different paintings and illustrations from different periods of time, from 18th and 19th century, that show us the same things, that are extremely detailed and look more like photographs than paintings. But historians prefer to consider that just their vivid imagination for unknown reasons, just because it doesn't fit into their official story. And there are lots of conversations and discussions about the technology that people possessed before the alleged catastrophic event took place, that is either hidden from us, or that it was destroyed or lost. But there's not a lot of conversation regarding very strange devices that are being called mirrors for some reason, that can be seen on lots and lots of different paintings from 15th and 16th century. So I spent quite some time looking into different paintings, trying to find as many similar examples of those so-called mirrors as I could, and some of my findings were quite interesting, and those people who actually call them mirrors are just blind. I don't really know what to say. So let's look into those mirrors that I think are more like video communication devices. So what do we see in the first painting? We see a woman who looks like she fell asleep, looking into a very strange object, which is very difficult to call a mirror. First, it's convex, and it's very dark. And those are two similarities that I found in many paintings that have these types of objects. So what can it be? If we look closely, we see there is some kind of image being shown at the center of this object. Those are two men, and it looks black and white, kind of. So the first assumption is that it's either some kind of television or a video communication device like, you know, Zoom or Skype or FaceTime or whatever. You know, what else can it be? Maybe, like, my other theory is that maybe it's some kind of security camera, I don't know. But it's a screen. That's what it looks to me, at least. It's a screen that is showing something, obviously. And it's probably not just an image if she actually fell asleep looking at it. So anyways, let's take a look at the next one. So what do we see on this one? We see two women, what looks like arguing, which that's not surprising, but what's surprising is a very similar device, and one of women is touching it, which it actually looks like she's like zooming in or zooming out on a smartphone, and it really does look like it could be touchscreen. And why would you just touch a mirror in any way at all? It doesn't make sense. You'd leave fingerprints, and what's the point? And the other woman looks like she wants to, you know, to choose what to watch, or like it's, you know, her turn to use it. Probably not just to look into it. Another very interesting painting, and it has a lot of strange devices or artifacts, I don't know what to call them, but we're looking at our convex mirrors, and this one is much smaller size, but it again has an image. This time it's in color, showing two completely different people, so it's not a reflection. It looks like those two people are also looking into the mirror from the other side. And my first guess would be that it's some kind of screen showing security camera footage, and security cameras on the outside, and those people on the outside are looking into the camera, which, I mean, of course sounds ridiculous, but why not? Let's go to the next image. Now in this one we see again a very similar looking convex mirror that doesn't make sense to be used just as a mirror. And although on this one we see that it's actually just reflecting what's happening in the room. So this one actually just reflects, maybe it's just turned off, and it looks very similar as if you look into your smartphone when your screen is off and you see your reflection, but it's very dark. That looks just so similar to me. Anyways, let's not get into what's going on in this picture. Let's just go to the next one. Okay, so this one, first you see I had to cover up a bit of the nudity in this painting, but besides that, again we see pretty much the same looking mirror and the same similarities: the shape, the color, and again we see some kind of person in it, and it looks like a woman is pointing at the person on the screen. I'm just gonna call it the screen, okay? So again, it's not someone behind the glass, obviously. It cannot be anyone standing in front because his face obviously looks very small. So what can it be? Again, looks like some kind of video conference. Here again, a very similar looking screen, smaller size, and it absolutely doesn't make sense for it to be a mirror just of the way how it's placed. The guy is not even tall enough to look into it, but he looks like he's looking into it and writing something down from whatever he sees, I guess. And it only gets more and more interesting. Look at another painting. What do we see? We see precisely the same device, and also placed where no one would place any type of mirror at all. And you know what the explanation that we would hear for this thing would be, oh, that's just, you know, for decoration, because that was just, you know, in style in those times. So, you know, it literally looks like a security camera you'd see somewhere in the mall, the ones that they place usually on the ceiling. But why stop there? Let's look at this one. Here, what do we see? Again, similar looking device. This one looks like it's portable, you know, why not? And some kind of teacher, or could be a father of the kids, showing and pointing something on the screen. So what can it be? Can be a father telling kids that they get to watch their prehistoric Nickelodeon if they sweep the floors, right? Or whatever, play Minecraft. And again, the same device exactly, bigger size, more like the ones I showed in the first paintings. And again, on the wall, doesn't look like it's a mirror at all. And in this one it looks like there's some kind of light, could be just a reflection of the light in the center. Now if you take a quick glance at this one, yeah, you might assume, yeah, it's just a woman looking in like a pocket mirror. But when you look closely, she's clearly has a pen or a pencil in her other hand and a book in front of her. So the same as one of the other paintings that I showed you, where a guy is writing a book while looking into the same type of screen on the wall. This is just, again, some kind of portable version. Why would she be looking at a mirror, which is again convex, while she's writing something down? Just doesn't make sense. Again, a very vivid imagination of the painter. On this painting there is a lot of things going on, but we disregard everything. We only care about our screens. So let's take a closer look, and we see exactly the same device and a phrase in Latin. I don't speak Latin, I don't know it, so I tried translating in Google. It didn't help. Google Translate just doesn't work. So I tried my best, and it says pretty much something like a spotless mirror. Maybe like could be a perfect mirror, that's what Google says, but I don't think that's right. I think it's more like a spotless mirror. What can it mean? That, you know, kind of sounds like you would hear in fairy tales of different countries. They have very similar stories about, you know, mirrors that show you either future or yourself or your future husband or whatever, right? Speaking of fairy tales, here are two paintings, and they're two different paintings by two different people. They're not one painting, just very similar. And we see two women, I'm just gonna call them women, and they're looking into very similar and familiar devices, and I don't think they're just looking at their reflections. So we've already seen one of those portable devices that was on the table with the guy pointing at it. Now take a look at this one, this painting. Well, they're outside, a guy and a woman, and she's carrying the same type of portable device, smartphone, I don't know, GPS. Next one, look at this one, the same situation, two different people, a bit different looking device, but very similar in its nature. And again, she's just walking and casually looking at herself. I mean, I know women like to look at themselves, but not to this extent, right? Now, another one. Look, the same situation going on here. What's up with all those people outside looking into some portable mirrors? Doesn't make any sense. This painting, again, in the beginning, just looks like it has nothing to do with those devices, but if we look closer, we see those fat kids holding the same device, exactly the same. It looks like exactly one of those portable devices that women were holding in previous paintings at the outside. Oh yeah, and speaking about fat kids, no offense, he's obviously not fat since he can fly. He's probably very lightweight, but look what he's holding, and he's literally using that type of mirror as some kind of projector. This one is very, very bizarre, because first it looks like it could actually be a mirror, although again it's convex and, you know, wouldn't be convenient to use as a mirror. And another thing is, it's just the situation is just very strange. What makes sense in this situation is that maybe it's some kind of recording, and you know, the guy is recording her for whatever purposes, so it's like a performance. This one unfortunately is not good quality, but you can clearly see what's going on. Again, it's a woman looking into this portable video conference device. I'm really struggling with what to call it, but not a mirror, that's for sure. And if I would be her, I would not be just standing and looking at myself in the mirror. But okay, let's just keep going. And I have so many more. I don't even know if I should put them all in one video or not, and I just have something saved for the end. I just want to get to it faster. But yeah, here is more. This one, and here's a statue, if I'm not mistaken, it's St. Petersburg. Here again, a very bad place for a mirror. Then this one, just look at this one. There's just people just, you know, just watching something. Like, what else is going on here? This one, also 16th century, I think it's like 1550 or something, allegedly. And some kind of plate, which, what kind of plate is that? I don't know, but a woman with a very weird looking device which looks very familiar. Here is just a interesting object, whatever it is that they found, that just looks like it could be one of those devices, like a portable one, but like a pocket one version. I'm sure there is an official explanation that it's just some jewelry, but I mean, what kind of jewelry is that? And then there is this painting where we see this woman and we see something similar hanging on her dress, and you know, that looks like a very convenient place to hold your pocket, you know, phone or whatever that could be, and not losing it. And you know, you don't need the purse, you don't need pockets, and you don't have pockets, so it's just, you know, that's smart. And then we have this one that has the same thing. I mean, were they really that obsessed about their looks that they had tiny mirrors just hanging on their dresses? I mean, that's really dumb. And that's pretty similar to the other devices. This one, again, we see the same television. This one, to me, this just could be some kind of television. That's, you know, perfect place for a television. And, you know, looks like one. I mean, if this is not an enormous 8K television, I don't know what I'm looking at. Maybe it's a Stargate. What else can it possibly be? I think it's really interesting television. This is going to be the last one for today. I might have missed some other paintings I want to show, but that's the best one. Although this one is from a different time period, it's closer to us, and allegedly this is 1860. And what we see here is a girl not looking at the road and looking at her phone. What else can it possibly be? Probably the explanation is that she's reading her pocket Bible because she's devoted to God and, you know, doesn't do anything all day, just, you know, prays and reads the Bible. I don't think people were doing that all day long, you know, at those times. And it absolutely doesn't look like that's what she's doing. It looks like what we see present day, every day, all around us. And that's literally what we see in this image. And I think I'm gonna end this video here. If anyone has or saw anything similar to these objects that I showed, please share it. I'd love to see it. I'm really curious. And if anyone has any other explanation or assumption of what those things could be used for, please let me know as well. And take care.